This is the plaintiff, Lorraine Kaiser. She says the defendant, her neighbor, borrowed money from her because she had all sorts of problems and needed quick cash. The defendant won't pay her back, but has the money to do so because she buys other things, and that's simply not right. She's suing for $1,091.99, the amount of the loans. This is the defendant, Doris. She says she paid the plaintiff back despite losing her job and injuring herself. She has no idea why the plaintiff is suing her and found out she did the very same thing to another friend last year, and that is sue her for money she wasn't owed. She's accused of stiffing a friend.
Lorraine Kaiser, you are suing Doris. You've asked us to refer to you only by your first name, and we'll respect that for $1,091.99. The amount of a loan that she has not repaid include as well as interest and gas. I'm sure you'll tell me about that. And your filing fee. Okay, talk to me. Tell me what happened.
Well, it started back in the year 2006. Doris needed some money, and I loaned her money. And she...
How do you two know each other?
She lives 2 doors away from me.
In houses, apartment?
Townhouse.
Townhouse, okay.
And she promised to pay me back, and she had said that out of her income tax refund, when she got it in 2007, she would pay me, which she did, and I did not have a contract with her or anything.
Okay.
Then she took a job working at McDonald's, 11 to 7, and I would watch her son from 11 to 7 in the morning. You know, overnight he would sleep at my place.
How old is her son?
He's 11, 12 now.
Okay.
And that was in '07. Then in '08, she had the baby. And the summer of 2008, our electric company cut off her power for lack of non-payment. So I ran 2 power cords from my house, one from the front of my house, one from the back.
And how long did that last?
Probably till the end of November into December.
How long did that last?
A few months.
A few months. Okay, so the 4 to 6 weeks was the other neighbor, and how long do you say this lasted?
Altogether, it was roughly about 2 months, because somebody in between those 2 neighbors contacted CPS because I was doing that. And they tried to get
Somebody in between those 2 neighbors. It could have been anybody who saw the extension cords, because you have to have power to have children in your house. I'm not surprised.
Well, CPS came in and they investigated, and they did not see that there was a problem.
What did Child Protective Services do?
They did nothing. They saw that my children was
then what are you so mad
danger.
at? Why are you saying, yeah, somebody called the CPS? What are you mad at?
Well, I feel that she purposely did it.
You think she did it?
I know she did it.
I'm
assuming. I don't know for sure. I'm assuming.
The same person who you're hooked up
Well, I paid her for the service. I paid her $80.
I'm not understanding. Hold on a second. We haven't even gotten to the loans.
Yeah, I know. And
you're
this
hooked up
right here has
in
nothing to do with
electricity.
the suit.
You're hooked up with electricity.
Right.
And CPS, Child Protective Services, comes to your house, angry that they've received a complaint that your children don't have electricity in the house. You're hooked up to electricity in her house, and you think she's the one who called CPS?
Yeah.
When she's the one paying for your electricity?
Because CPS made a comment indirectly to me on the
crazy.
side.
No, well, I got an idea.
Crazy.
Why doesn't she go like this? Why doesn't she pull it out
service.
and then hand it to you so you can take it back? If she's mad at you, that's a much more effective thing to do to you than call CPS.
I did give it back to her. And I did pay for her for the service.
Give what back to her?
I gave her electricity back, and I paid her for her.
How do you give her electricity back?
I gave her the electricity cords back, and I paid her $80 for the service.
They were also her physical electricity cords belonged to her?
No, one cord that she went out on her own.
Okay. But you still think that the person who ratted you out was the same person paying for your electricity at that moment?
I was told this.
All right. Go ahead. So what happens? Tell me about the loan.
Along with all of this, okay, I also let the defendant come over. She did her laundry at my place, used my washer and dryer. Her and her son took showers at my place. Whenever I baked anything, I would take it over. Banana, nut bread, or whatever, made an extra loaf, I would take it over to her. I was there when CPS was there.
No, you was not.
And I said to the women, I said, if they need a place to stay, I have a spare bedroom. Well, this is in the same time frame. August 1st, I took a $1,500 loan, cash advance, on my credit card so she could get her vehicle back, being that it was taken away.
Vehicle?
It was repossessed.
Repossessed, okay.
And then in September, she needed money to make...
September of what year are we again?
'08.
Okay.
She needed money to make a mortgage payment, so I gave her cash for that.
After, but how is she
And-
going to pay you back all this stuff?
We signed papers, and I let it go until, like, she got a job, and then she would pay me $100 a month.
Okay, can I see the papers that you guys signed? Okay, so she gets a job and she starts paying the $100 a month, right?
Correct. And
so the
she
total amount of the loans were $1,500 plus what?
$455.
Okay. And then there was a charge that you're suing for called it's $71.11 for a transfer fee. What's that?
There was a transfer fee to do a cash advance on your credit card.
Okay.
The
I, Doris
fees were
Tyler,
very
borrowed
high.
from Lorraine Kaiser $455 cash to pay my mortgage, which is overdue. I am to repay this amount as soon as possible. As soon as I am working, I will pay $100 a month, and if I can pay more, I will. Boy.
And she also promised when she got her income tax refund in 2009 that
Okay.
she would pay the balance in full.
Okay. And what happened? When the tax refund came, did she pay?
She told me she hadn't gotten it, and in June I asked her about it. She told me to mind my own business, that she was paying me monthly. In March of this year, I asked her about it. She said she never received it.
When did the relationship between the two of you, because what you've described is, basically you looking out for her and mothering her, and, when did it go from that to it's none of your business? What went, something there's a disconnect for me here. What went wrong there?
I have no idea.
Was it gradual or was it immediate?
I think it was gradual, but I don't know what happened, why she did that. I have no idea.
Does she feel that you were aggressive about collecting, even though you weren't aggressive about collecting, or what?
I don't know.
Had you stepped up your efforts to get paid?
No, I had not.
Something had to have happened. What happened?
What happened? Me and Lorraine started having issues in '08, I believe, when she came back from Mexico. She came back from Mexico from her trip, again, talking. She was talking about our neighbor, and because I said something that she did not like is when our relationship.
What?
Lorraine's making a comment that, my neighbor is pretty much doing what she has to do for money. And I pretty much said that, well, she's nothing but a... And because I stated that, she didn't like that. Because I went against her friend. It's okay for her to talk about neighbors, but it's not okay for me to do it.
That's how this relationship, where
That's
this
how-
lady
no, no,
loaned
no,
you
no,
all
no,
this money and
no,
got
no,
you.
no,
Can
that's
I just
how
ask you
it
a question,
started.
Miss Doris?
Yes.
Tell me something. When
That's
you
not
had
how it
nobody,
ended.
were you talking at the same time as I was?
Oh, excuse me.
Okay. When you had nobody else to turn to, and you needed money for the mortgage, and you needed money for your repossessed car, so that you can get to work, so that you could support your children and yourself. And because most neighbors don't go around shower, at least I never had.
She offered this
I'm
to
sorry,
me.
am I still did I breathe and give her the impression I was done speaking?
I didn't hear a breath.
I didn't hear a breath. I'm not even breathing so that I can get out my question
5 more
without
minutes.
getting interrupted.
5 more
Okay.
minutes.
Pardon?
Excuse me, you have 5 more minutes to discuss this.
Excuse me?
You have 5 more minutes to discuss this.
Oh, you are so wrong. I cannot even begin to tell
Because
you
you're not
how
letting me
wrong you
talk and explain myself.
are. Do you have any idea
Let
how
me
wrong
finish
you
talking.
are? Do you have any idea how wrong you are? This is not your courtroom.
No, it's yours.
This is my courtroom.
You're right.
And this case is going to take exactly as long as I say it's going to take. Okay?
We'll see.
Because I have justice to do here,
Okay.
whether you like it or not.
Okay.
And what happens in court when you are sued is you are going to be asked tough questions. Most people have the good sense to be respectful
I'm
while
trying
it's
to
going
be.
on. I have not been disrespectful to you.
You're not letting me finish.
I am in the middle of a question. You are not letting me finish.
Okay. Okay.
Would you call the Department of Children's Services on a good friend if you felt that that good friend's kids were in danger?
I would first speak to the friend, and if they don't comply, then I'd have to call.
Would you call Children's Services?
Absolutely, I wouldn't have a good friend that abuses children.
So you would call. I mean, if you really had a feeling and it's a really good friend, would you call?
Absolutely. No question.
Good move. Going inside the courtroom.
Please explain to me how when you need somebody to help you out, when you need somebody to help you out of your pickle with the mortgage, when you need somebody to help you out of the repossession of your car, you have obviously fallen on some hard times. The person who you can rely on is this neighbor, who's not just a person who lives near you. It's someone who clearly went out on a limb for you, okay, how you can have such a vicious, vitriolic attitude in here. You seem so ungrateful for how she helped you out. You're going to tell me that someone who bailed you out to the extent of over $1,500 and something dollars, or $2,000, that person didn't like that you called somebody a... And that's why you guys all of a sudden that's why you threw the relationship out over that and then turn around and not pay anymore? Because you stopped paying in January, right?
Yes. Yeah, but this is not why. Okay. This is not why me and her has had our problems.
Why have you... I asked that question, and your answer to me was I called her friend a slut.
Though.
That was your answer.
No, that was...
What different answer do you want to give me now?
The second reason is this. Every time my husband comes to my home to pick up my son on the weekends, she comes out her house and she tells my husband all my business. That's the second. Third thing...
Wait, back it up. What do you mean?
She informs him whatever's going on in my home.
You mean stuff about the loan or other stuff?
About the loans, who comes to my house, whatever is happening in my home, she informs my husband. My husband has told me this. I'm currently in court right now because this woman has told my husband I'm paranoid.
Okay. He's taking you to court to tell the judge she's paranoid just so he knows, or because he wants a result? He
wants the judge to do something. I don't know what he wants.
Make you go to counseling?
Yes. Meanwhile, it's already been established that I was never diagnosed with paranoia.
Did you ever talk to her and tell her, listen, stop talking to the father of my, to my husband?
Yes, I did.
And what did she say?
And she yelled and screamed at me and told me I was paranoid. And then she came over to my house and knocked on my door and said, I want my keys. Give me my keys. So I gave her keys and she gave me my keys. And that was the end of that.
And then you stopped paying? Why did you stop paying?
I didn't stop paying.
In January, you stopped paying, right?
I had surgery. I had major spinal surgery in January.
But you did stop paying since January. Yes. We're in June. Since the last 6 months. Put your hand down, please. The last 6 months you have not paid.
No, I have not paid.
Okay. Why do you think she stopped paying?
Well, she told me in March of this year that she filed discrimination charges at her job and she was fired.
Does she have a lawsuit against them for that?
And I asked her about the income tax money then from the year before that she said she would pay me out of, and she said she never got it.
You say in your complaint, I think she thought I'd be dead already.
Mm-hmm.
Explain what you mean, please.
I have stage 3 inoperable pancreatic cancer.
I'm sorry. And you feel...
And I have it already now 21 and a half months.
And does she know that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we're done. Let's go over the figures, folks. Is it correct that there's $755 still outstanding for the loan?
No, that's incorrect.
According to you, how much do you owe?
Okay, according to me, this is how much I owe. I paid her $1,300 in checks and $400 in cash. So that's $1,700.
Do you have receipts for the cash?
No, I don't.
Can I see the check? Mm-hmm. And according to you, how much has she paid?
She paid $1,200.
How do you know that she paid $1,200?
The checks.
Oh, honey, these aren't checks. These are carbons. I could write that now and write $1 million and claim I paid that. Where's the actual checks?
I don't have the actual check.
Oh, hon, how did you do this?
I gave her the actual check.
No, I know, but then the checks come back, or a microfiche of the checks come back in your statement.
No, I have a bank. No, I didn't.
Yeah, or you can get them from the bank. That's how people prove up payment. You need to show me the canceled negotiated check to prove up that you paid this. All right. You're suing for $50 for gas. What's that about?
I had to take her to go get the vehicle, and we got there late, and then I took her back the next day.
Do you have any proof of $50 for gas?
It was at least $200.
Do you have any proof of $50 for gas? Yes or no?
I didn't bring the receipts. It would be on my credit card.
Then the answer would be no. Okay. You were entitled to the $755. You were entitled to the transfer fee, which she agrees in the contract that she would be having to pay. Mm-hmm. You are not entitled to gas, and as far as the interest is concerned, you are entitled to prejudgment statutory interest from the time that she stopped paying, because I believe that she had an ability to pay more than what she was paying you, and that she stopped paying you, not because she fell on hard times, but because she's angry at you for whatever she finds to be angry at you. All right, so that's $826.11 plus prejudgment statutory interest since August on the loan, plus your filing fee. That is my verdict. I wish you luck with your health, ma'am.
Thank you.
Well, the defendant comes out, step in here. You think this thing is over now between you and your neighbor in this dispute? Why not? All right. She's gone with no comment. Got any comment?
I'm glad that it's finally settled, and I wish her well.
What's it going to be like living in the old neighborhood?
I will do the best I can, and I have no ill feelings, really.
Why do you think she took so long to pay?
I guess that's her way of doing things.
Over to Harvey.
Okay, so the real advice here is that you have to choose who you want to help out. It may be that somebody needs help, but that doesn't mean they're deserving of your help. Just look at the plaintiff here. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.